This is about spirit release of people. If you have changed more or less overnight, or maybe you're always tired, or you feel sort of unwell but don't quite know what's the matter with you, and maybe the doctor can find nothing wrong with you. If you feel negative a lot of the time, or angry, fearful, always losing your temper, and know this just isn't you, the chances are you may have picked up a spirit. In most cases, removing spirits from people is quite straightforward. Many spirits that will get attached are fairly benign in themselves, but they're not necessarily that benign by the time they're attached to you, as in they're not supposed to be there. And they had different personalities when they're alive, and their different personality is affecting your personality, which is why your personality has changed. These beings have somehow been attracted to you through the light that you give off, that they can see. And often, having picked you up, they find they can't leave you. Or maybe they like you so much they don't want to leave you. However, by using various methods and using the help of the angels, I can remove these spirits from you. When they realise there is a better place to go to, they're only too happy to actually leave you. There are more complicated cases when you have picked up something very negative, and that can take longer to release from you and may require more than one session. However, hopefully I will be able to help you in this case also. Often people come to me and they say they know there is a spirit attached to them. They're not willing to discuss it as a possibility. They are absolutely dead certain it's a spirit. And I usually find in these cases it is not a spirit. The various symptoms that you have will only go if they are actually caused by the spirit. I have found that when I release spirits from people who are genuinely suffering from possession, they have an instant transformation, and they often look different. They look in the mirror and they see a different set of eyes. As one person once said, they were his eyes looking back at him for the first time in years. And life, just their experience of life, changes instantly. Before they've even left my place, they often change. However, if your problems are caused by psychological problems, possibly made worse by the fact you've also got spirits attached, then removing those spirits is not likely to have a significant difference in your life. As I say to people, your symptoms will only go if your symptoms are truly caused by a spirit which I remove. I've also found that if you are open to the fact that you may have a spirit with you, then you may be very surprised at the results, having had your spirit removed. However, if you are dead certain that you've got a spirit attached to you, and you're not open to the fact that you may not, you may find that I am not able to help you. One of the ways of knowing that somebody else is possessed, or possibly even yourself, by looking in a mirror, is when you look into somebody's eyes. If you feel that something nasty is looking out, or the person that you are used to seeing in those eyes is not there, the chance is that person is suffering from spirit attachment. I would advise you looking into the eyes periodically over time and not just doing it once, because one does have moments, maybe after one's been drinking or whatever, when your eyes look a little different. But if you keep looking at someone and every time you look at them you feel you're not looking at the person you used to be looking at, the chances are that person has a spirit that needs to be released. Another area that is very easy to miss, particularly when you're self-employed, and all of a sudden, or maybe slowly, your work dries up. In this economic climate, it's very easy to put it down to the fact that it's what's happening in the world. However, often it is not, actually. It may be that one of your dissatisfied client has cursed you, or maybe you've picked up a negative spirit who would like to sort of do you down one way or another. Because I have found on numerous occasions, particularly in my own life, that when finances are not going okay, that if I either have done it for myself, and I've also had other people do it for me, to remove a type of negative blanket from around me, instantly clients start to pour in, so therefore my bank account gets better. I have noticed this very interestingly on my accounts on many occasions, is that I have it written down exactly when I did such and such an exercise which removed negative energy from around me, and by looking at my accounts that I could see that 7 hours later the work poured in. Now the reason it was 7 hours later is because I normally, when I work on myself, do it at something like 2 o'clock in the morning. And so the work that poured in later came in from about 9 o'clock onwards. So if your finances are not the way they should be, or not the way they used to be, and there is nothing wrong with your website, and there's nothing wrong with your adverts, it's quite a good idea to have yourself checked out for negative energy before you automatically assume it's just the economic climate.